So guys, next video for today is try to move the clip-on. I already did a video on removing the left hand side. Aerosmith is still on, so I need to get this part past this part, and of course there's a wire stopping me from that. So you need to unscrew this, follow this wire which goes all the way around here, you can see it, and into this bit. So I have to cut these stripes and then unconnect this, and after that either we hang up the bike, put the dampers down, or we remove this screw and lift the front off. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna find the cable and cut it, get back to you later. So here we go for the cable. You disconnect it, sorry for that burp, it wasn't me. You disconnect it here, and then there's a rail here that this one sits on. So you have to take a tiny screwdriver and press this bit to the left and then pull it up. So this is loose now. And of course you have to open this. I don't know what TX it is. Probably the same as the rest of the bike, 25. So I'm going to do that and get back to you. So there you go. It wasn't that hard. Pretty loose actually. Remove the cap. And now you should be able to fish this wire up. And do what you need to do. Hopefully it'll get it. So I think I'm gonna open the center screw here, and then lift this part up, and then remove the clip-ons. Some quick chat about the PP tuning clip-ons. You can see from the picture how to install these. So I'm gonna put it together, and I'm gonna give you guys a tip in a second. So I haven't figured this out, but here's the tip. I'm gonna try it now. I'm making this up as I go. Hopefully it will work. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the clip-ons aligned with the original ones, and then I'll have a marker pen, and I will try to make a mark on the clip-ons and on top of here. Then you probably get close to the original grip that you want. Then you can adjust it after that from where you want. It's pretty hard to adjust them equally. I don't have a sense for symmetry, so I have to use all the help that I can get. So here's my tip. Mark it. So here we go. Wrench number 36. You have to put your weight on the handlebar here. Otherwise, if you screw this, the handlebar will go, so you won't get a good leverage. It's pretty tight. You have to put some muscle into it. Don't ask me about Newton meters, I have no idea. So, unscrew this. Get back to you. So there you go. Pretty Loctite, green Loctite. And then there's a washer beneath. So wash it first, and then the nut. So, next step is to untighten these screws. There are two, one on each side. And then after that, we have to of course untighten the screws for the handlebar clip-ons. So I'm gonna untighten this. I have no idea what it is. Looks like maybe TX35 or 40. And I get back to you. Okay. So this bit is loose. I have to put my thumb in here and just pull it out. It's pretty stuck, so don't give up. It will come. And then, as you can see, the handlebars are pretty loose. So what we need to do for this, I definitely in my both hands, is to just lift this spot over and then replace it with the aftermarket clip-ons. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hence, of course, your brake and clutch lever will come off. You have to remove those as well. But I will show you how to do that later. Actually, we're gonna remove everything on the original clip-on. I figured out it will be easier before we remove it and install it. So to do this, we're gonna remove this screw to get the clutch lever off completely. You can check out my other video how to install the Alpha Racing clutch lever. And then we need to remove this screw so we can just get everything off. There are a couple of small torque screws in here that you have to remove, but I'll show you. So we will start with this screw. You probably need to heat it up because as I remember, they use a lot of anti-seize on it, Loctite. So I don't know if it's TX55 or what it could be. I'll try to get it off and I'll get back to you. So this tiny screw that goes in there is off, and there's a hatch, so you can just remove the clutch, and it's striped here, so if you completely want to remove it, you can cut this up. Don't lose the screw. So here comes the tricky part, and I don't know how to show you guys, but there's tiny screws in here. We start by removing this. This looks a little bit different than my 2011. I think there is another screw hole up there, as you can see. So we start there. Of course, if you remove it, it will be much easier. What you lack in brain, yeah. So these two screws gotta come off. So start by that. Here's the switch for the quick shifter, by the way, that I was talking about earlier in my video. So you have two lips here, as you can see. So press those down to get access to this hatch. I don't know if there's any screws down under. It's a TX 8 to remove those tiny ones. So it turns out that this is a lot different than my 2011 handlebar. There's another screw there. It looks like to be the same, TX8. So hopefully if we remove this, we get the whole grip off. I'll do that and I'll get back to you. So guys, as I told you before, I haven't done this in this model, so I'm learning stuff as it goes, and you're with me all the steps. It turned out that we didn't need to remove those screws at the bottom or that hatchet. It's only necessary to remove the screw that's in between there. And that screw goes into the hole that's there. When you have done that, you can just pull this whole handle out. What you need to do now is pretty tricky and important. You need to drill a hole the same distance as this on your new handlebars. So if you have the same length, which I almost have, I have to figure out where to put the handlebar and when to drill, where to drill the hole. So I'm gonna try to do that and get back to you. So I measured the length where I want the handle to be, and I drilled with a small drill. It's really important that you don't drill a bigger hole than the size of the screw, otherwise the whole thing will wiggle around, so it will move. So make it as tight as possible. So what we're going to do is, of course, remove this screw first, and then insert the rod into the grip and then put everything back together. And the easiest way to do that is, of course, to insert this into the place there. Press it down first and then insert the whole thing into the side. Guys, don't forget this cord. That's the whole point. So make sure that it goes through everything, so you don't end up with this on the outside. Then you have a big problem. You have to redo everything. So I'm gonna insert this, and then I'm gonna put the screw back on. I'll get back to you guys. So here we go. It's inserted, and this holds is aligned. If I twist this, you will see that. I don't know if you can see it. No alignment. So you have to twist it until you can align the hole. Sorry for this. It's really hard to do with one hand. Then you put in the screw. There's a washer, of course, or nut on the back side. It should be. I've dropped that. Sorry, the nut is there. So insert the screw from this side, and then you tighten the whole thing. So guys, right side is on, everything is loose. I'm gonna wait to adjust this exactly as I want it before I fasten it. We're gonna go to the right hand side. It's a bit trickier. Be careful with the brake oil fluid. It will damage your paint job if it leaks. So I suggest that you remove the fluid cup, and then we're gonna figure out how to remove the rest of this. Start by removing the fluid cup, and as you saw, there's a screw. You just unscrew that one, and then the whole thing will come out, attached to the brake pump, of course. And we're gonna figure out after that. We're gonna remove the brakes, these two screws, and then there's a question on how to remove this. I think there's a tiny screw on the back of it here. We start with the brake pump and the brake fluid.